And this opens the opportunity for Reese Dainty to make a move, but he's just not close enough. Further on back, we've got Matty Bissett getting a 5-second time penalty for track limits, and I'm really concerned at what's just happened here because he's got no front wing on his car now.
Looks like, I hate to say it, but we are now going to be having 16 competing because Abe has set a lap, completely ignoring his qualifying ban. So per race control, Abe is here, is done.
Oh no!
What the hell?
Matthew Bissett and DeChiller made contact, but DeChiller was stuck in the pause screen. That's the problem right there. Gecko and Matty Bissett. We've got Minico and Joe Speed. That's 2 Academy teammates. And now almost a collision. Matty Bissett getting all out of shape in turn 1. And that is disgusting behavior as he's just purposely taken out HSR Gecko, and he's got a 3-second time penalty for good measure. This would be a big race if Metal can do that, but Jackie is setting fast laps. He does set the fastest lap here on lap 9. But Robin is off again and going to be lapped for a second time if he continues at this rate. Okay, come on. He has just retired on track and caused a safety car.
When Robin Brain was racing in RPL, a majority of the time, he was breaking rules. He readied up before the host, which you're not allowed to do. He retired in the pits for no good reason, which, if you're going to do so, you need a good reason. And he also got banned from the league for using a racial slur.
Oh, there's a safety car. Drift King's retired on track.
Right.
Okay.
Banned.
Well, no, he's in Mercedes Academy, so I think we let him on.
Unbanned.
Oh, you said it's the fastest car, not just the car. Well, sorry, Lennon. I read that very wrong.
Oh, same thing. It's the same thing.
Drift King,
Drift
more
King,
trouble.
Not happen. Yeah. No, you can't do that, Drift King.
Oh boy, Drift King into the wall.
You can't just drive that. You can't drive it into the wall,
down the main straight. Well, we're gonna see a safety car. We might see a safety car drifting out of this race.
No.
Late race safety car.
That's a safety car. Alex is back in this.
And
I'm
that
not even
was on
joking when I
purpose.
say that.
Both McLarens are in. Both McLarens have chose to box. Drift King, that was disgraceful.
Beanick got saved.
Big losers in the start. Red Fire, Danny, and Jackson Traeger, to no surprise, but we've got some contact here. Strat Racer's off, and Strat Racer's in the wall. He had an incident with Zora. Both of them came together, and Strat Racer's missing part of his wing. Here we go to 130R. Red Fire Tigers trying to gain some lost ground on the inside of the RB. Now look at this. This is so tight. Zora's going to go for the send on Polo. Polo locks the rears, and the 2 Ferraris ghost inside of one another. That was almost a big collision, and they're still colliding. Danny's off. Danny's off. You just got to hope for Zora to move. That's what they're saying, but the thing is, I think Zora wants to try and give his teammate here DRS, but the thing is, he's already going to be in the DRS train by the end of this lap with what Alex Norris has been doing. It might just be good enough with Zora getting out of the way. With that being said, because look at this, Uri is in the DRS train. The last thing Zora can do is give the Aston DRS. He can't be doing that if Uri can win the title. Look at this. Leon Miner, 10-second penalty. We're on to the final lap of this race. This time by, in the final lap of the season. What a thrilling championship battle coming down to the last lap here. Turbo is going to win the race on track if he just stays where he's at. He wants to win this race on track. He'll get it on penalties. But right now, it's all happening for third. Zora sets the fastest lap. The Aston gets DRS. But Uri goes through. Zora stole the fastest lap from his teammate. And you know what that's going to do? That's going to mean that Uri needs third place on the last lap.
As I think Beatnik has just decided, you know what, I'm not going to get a good finish here. Might as well end Zora with a broken right wing, just sitting. And he has a busted end plate. Hopefully that does not bring out a safety car. And Zora gets disqualified.
This difference being that Night Owl started from the pole. Back to green flag we go. SV and George, a little bit of contact. Collision! SV! Big incident. Penalty. And he's come out right in front of George. That was very dangerous. 10 seconds his name. Wow. And he has to let George and Jack go, and he comes right in front of George. Look at this. George slams him into the wall. Payback. Big incident. George now around. SV got another 10 second to his name for good measure. Valkyrie going slow. SV is off, mowing some grass and maybe getting under the gravel, and is now spun around. This is not what SV would have wanted, and for SV's case here, it's not the start of the season he would have wanted either. He's spun again. He's off for the 3rd time this lap. Yeah, not the start SV would have wanted the season. Let's tell you his results. DNF in Australia, P9 in Singapore, his only point, his best finish of the season. And last week in Qatar, he was outside the points, P15. Right now, he's running P17, and it looks like he's going to go to the pits and possibly give up this thing. He's also spun in front of the pits for good measure. And he's also at the pit wall. Oh, moving under braking. That's a wing chopped. Alex Norris has damage. Ardell and Alex Norris, 2 Academy teammates collide, and good night SV. 37 seconds of penalties puts him out of this race. I think Blugagi just had a peek for the lead, but backed off there, and smartly enough, you don't want to cost yourself anything. And George App Williams. Oh! SV turned into him, and there's a collision! George and SV have come together again! It's not the first time, and it probably won't be the last time. These two never seem to go without contact on the racetrack. George is down to 13th now. SV did exactly what I think he did with Uri earlier on. Thought he was probably ahead or comfortably behind and turned in while George was alongside, and he's out of the race now. That's a safety car deployed. Has he crashed out intentionally is going to be the question there that will be raised. Wow, that is brave. And now side by side, wheel-to-wheel racing in the tunnel. Josh
who's going to blink first?
For the Nouvelle chicane. Who's going to back out? It's Josh. And going wide is Reese Dainty. And off was Be Good too. We still have DRS trains in play. Jack leading the one for 7th place. And oh, collision! Zakaria off! Big shunt! Speed was the one who made contact with him, and Zakaria almost went into the path of Lewis Piper when rejoining. KVS and Reese. Reese needs to get back up there. Now the V-Carbs are fighting it out. Almost a collision. Here comes Gecko. Gecko down the inside, 2 by 2 to the braking zone. We're about to reach the 5-year anniversary, but right now he's about to reach 2nd place with a bold move. He faked him, and he put Gecko into the runoff. And Gecko rejoins this race side by side, but they cannot keep fighting if they want the win here. 2.1 the gap. We've got lots of racing still to go. 5 laps remaining. Now the V-Carbs are going to split the Ferrari 3 wide. Gecko gets the place. Now back down the inside. Speed's going for it, and he's shoving his way through. 3 abreast once more, once again. The 2 V-Carb banging it out.
Is on the fresher compound tire, but the TB fighting with speed, it's compromising them.
And this is only helping Reese get closer to this pack, but he needs to make the moves. Whoa, and both V-Carbs collide. Here he goes. 3 abreast again. Oh, way too deep.
2 for 1.
But he'll have the inside line. 3 abreast. It's a Red Bull kerfuffle here with the 3 Academy cars. Almost a collision again. They're fighting it out. Speed is off, and Speed's in the wall with Egg. Lots of interesting things came out of last week, Egg, but I think the biggest one comes from stuff we found out as an admin team, how we obviously remember 2 seasons ago, Annex was in the league. He was caught cheating, but he's come into RPL once again, now on 2 different accounts, Be Good and at least raced under 2 different accounts, Be Good and Speed, and he was caught as an alt account, a Smurf account as they would call it, and that was the big storyline out of last week. He has been disqualified from the previous race results for that's based on past precedent, the way it goes. We did check his files, same with Leo Lund, they're all good, both them, but Leo Lund's not an alt, Speed is, so that is the big headlines coming out of last week's race. He was disqualified, and because of that, we're going to get a new V-Carb then.
Alright, so what happened was, according to Invade, Goggy spun Wavy, and he couldn't react. And when I looked in the pits, Wavy was getting a front wing change, so
Yeah.
I do believe that checks out.
Or sorry, that was Tadpole, I believe, who collided. Excuse me. But Blue Goggy has now just picked up a 3-second time penalty, and the action is still not over. Wavy down the inside of Goggy. Zatsy in on the action. Wavy takes the places. Wavy also has Zatsy in front who just took the place, and now Wavy trying to cover off Blue Goggy. That collision in front involved Tadpole and Alex Bear, excuse me right there, not Beatnik. And now, Wavy and Goggy have come together again. 2x2, 2 rows deep, invade on the inside, he goes spinning. Mythic and Kimbu trying to avoid. Mythic staying ahead.
I don't know why she's doing this. She can just sit behind these two for the rest of the race.
I think I know why. I think I know why. Safety car.
Safety car.
That's why. That's why. Because she now has the track position to fight those guys rather than having penalties in front.
This incident from Blue Goggy 14 in fact was intentional, and it probably wasn't smart from Blue Goggy's end to clip this incident in which he crashed on purpose in. Goggy, when it came to being penalized in the storage room, he was banned for the remainder of the season from racing. However, when he appealed that incident halfway through the season, that appeal did go forward in favor of Goggy racing once again.
Speaking about like chaos, I think one person we gotta mention with chaos on, because I just saw him join back in the lobby. Blue Goggy. Blue Goggy.
Yes.
Last week, I believe it was F2 was the final straw of it, but he has been banned from racing till further notice because of numerous connection problems. And Red Bull has been making a, from reading on it, from what I've seen from Cookie and Goggy themselves, basically Red Bull has been making a major stink over the ban, saying that it's completely unfair, and it's be unfair to some, but also knowing that Goggy has fixed his internet. He's running on Ethernet. Goggy was gonna be in Red Bull, but got kicked out of the lobby, and was basically told, by one of the head admins, if you participate in the race in a Red Bull, you are gone from RPL.